um, Chairman, Old Mutual Board of Directors, the CEO, Financial Gazette, captains of industry here present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It's my honor to be here this evening to be part of this very important and prestigious function. Let me first of all thank the organizers, the Financial Gazette, for having considered me to be here this evening, to be part of this very important function. This function is an opportunity to interface with key players in Zimbabwe's economic landscape. And as other speakers said, this function promotes good corporate practices and provides a good platform for networking among corporate leaders. It's a very significant function on Zimbabwe's domestic corporate calendar. We are all aware that this event is coming at a time when measures meant to address some of the economic challenges are being put in place, and this event and discussions here and networking will be reinforcing what is going on here in the country. The structural adjustment measures being undertaken by the government, they pose an optimism that this economy, with your support, should be able to rebound back. Of course, we are aware of the challenges emanating from sanctions imposed by some powers. So we are aware of the challenges we've been going through. But again, I also want to congratulate you. Given all those challenges, you've shown resilience. So I think you need a very big round of applause. If these sanctions could have hit a weak economy or people who are able to give up so easily, then we wouldn't be having this kind of function and celebration this evening. So this is as a result of the resilience of the people of this great nation. In Rwanda, we experienced a much more difficult situation. Sometime back in 1994, we had a tragedy situation where we had a genocide that claimed over 1 million people within 100 days, left behind almost a failed state, and no infrastructure, no skilled people, and there was even no much endowed resources like it is here. But as Rwandans, we came together, of course, in partnership with our friends, and we were able to reorganize ourselves. And in 2000, we were able to have our heads together as a country, regardless of political and any other differences. And we came up with a common understanding as a country of where we should take our country. And we came up with a Vision 2020, that was 2000, 20 years vision. And we agreed that everybody should support it, and maybe we should have differences in terms of the approach, but in terms of where we should be going, and in terms of all struggling to achieve our national interests, we managed to have a buy-in of majority of Rwandans, including national unity and the reconstruction of the social fabrics and infrastructure and others. So I would say that the fundamental pillars that guided our journey included, first of all, to have that broad consultation and come up with a shared vision. That was a starting point. The second one was the capital formation, where we valued so much the importance of the private sector in terms of economic development. And the macroeconomic management, where fiscal discipline, encouraging more of the development budget than the current expenditure, proper and enhanced revenue correction, domestic revenue correction, and predictability and stability of the environment, including foreign exchange liberalization. Promotion of competitiveness and improved ease of doing business. Zero tolerance when it comes to corruption. So this created an environment where the private sector investment was able to take a lead in our development journey. Because in Rwanda, because of genocide and because of the size of the economy as at that time, it was very difficult to attract investment and investors. So it required, first of all, to create that environment, create a good image, and that required us to have different innovations, including establishment of a one-stop center for the both domestic and foreign investors to just be served by that center. I would say, like, for example, today, you don't need more than 6 hours to establish a business in Rwanda. You don't have to visit the premises, you can do it online, and many others. the commitment to dealing with corruption is at every level. And there is a total commitment and zero tolerance when it comes to corruption. And this has led to an average GDP growth annually of about 8% for almost 15 years. And when we started these reforms, World Bank Doing Business report was ranking us like 149 globally, and about 30th in Africa. And today, for over like 5 years, we are among the first 20 globally and the second in Africa when it comes to doing business. Transparency International rankings on corruption, Rwanda is ranked among the top least corrupt countries in the world. And so this again creates a conducive environment for the private sector to operate, and the economy then grows steadily without any challenges. So for Zimbabwe, it's a different context. This country is blessed with immense natural resources, big land for agriculture. It has a very strong human capital base. It's a country with a good physical infrastructure and huge potential for tourism. So I am being encouraged to see that the government has also established a one-stop center called ZIDA. Last month was gazetted, which will curtail red tape and bring efficiency in the speedy processing and licensing of investment. And I'm very confident that if given sound and enabling laws, and the team is the right team is put in place, we are going to see significant improvement in the business environment here in Zimbabwe. We also see concerted efforts in fighting corruption. What we just encourage is for everybody to embrace this initiative, this process. Fighting corruption is a continuous fight, and it requires everybody's effort because benefits are for everybody in the country. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, before I conclude, let me once again commend this initiative conducted by Financial Gazette in partnership with Old Mutual. This brings a culture of competition which promotes efficiency and in the end brings better return on investment. In Rwanda, we have a similar exercise. Say in the public sector, annually we have our annual action plan with clear targets. And these targets uh, broken down into individual targets. When you are a minister, you have specific targets to achieve within that particular year. And then within the ministry, again, each staff is allocated the specific tasks. The same up to grassroots level. And depending on the level, you sign with your immediate supervisor. So ministers sign with the president. And then the minister sign with his staff, and it goes up to the lowest level. So at the end of the year, we get independent commission to do the evaluation. So when you score highly, you are awarded, and when you score consistently, you are eligible for promotion. And when you score consistently badly, then you are facing the door. You are inviting yourself to the exit route. So the same concept here, companies which are consistently performing very well, it's a very good sign for the public, it's a good confidence for the public that this is the right company or bank or whichever institution for investment, and with a very good indication for return on investment. And for the company that has not done well, I think this is a wake-up call that you can catch up and do better. And next time, you even be the one to get these awards. So, in total, with that kind of improvement, the economy improves, and this contributes to the growth of the economy and the country. So, the organizers of this event, you are making a huge contribution to the development of this country. So we thank you so much for this great job you are doing. And also the participants, companies that are in this exercise. It shows your openness, it shows your readiness to be scrutinized, and with an intention to where you've done very well, to keep on sustaining that, and where you've not done well, to rectify and move on. So really, I just want to thank companies and other institutions that are participating, that this is a wonderful exercise. Keep it up. It's a wonderful exercise to be in. When you are weak, you can't be in this exercise when you are not confident of yourself and you are not feeling capable to face others. So this shows even yourselves, you have confidence in yourselves and you are ready to compete. And finally, I just want to say that these economic challenges, the sanctions and others you see around, they pose threats and challenges, but they also come with an opportunity for private sector, because it requires you to think out of the box and come up with innovations to be able to fill the gap and create a culture of made in Zimbabwe, so that people here can change the mindset and focus on made in Zimbabwe. And this, again, would create that patriotism within the country and instill in the country and in the companies, local companies, a culture of self-reliance. So this one again and this country has a history of liberation, struggle, and finding solutions for yourselves. So you should not be scared by these challenges. You should find an opportunity in this and fill the gaps. And doing that, you build that culture of resilience, and you build the capacity to satisfy the needs of the country. So with these remarks, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to be here again, and I want to thank you so much for your kind attention.
So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go straight ahead. If you would like your dessert, now dessert is served. We would like to continue with the program. And with that, I'm going to invite the chairperson of the awards adjudication committee, Simbiso Musa, to please come up and give us her remarks. Let's give a big round of applause as she comes.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed, a very good evening to you all, and a warm welcome to this year's awards ceremony, where we get to celebrate Zimbabwe's top performers. Our very own economic landscape is ever-changing, and consistent with such an environment is the process of meticulously reviewing each and every aspect of the change and adjusting accordingly. Just last year this time, we were talking about positioning for global capital, and the economy was geared up for a rebound. However, this year, our companies were faced with a host of new challenges, which pretty much made every player slow down for a bit and align with reality. So the judges' task this year was excitingly thought-provoking, as it also needed a great amount of dynamism to keep up with the mutable landscape. In addition to our usual considerations for a top company, other metrics had to be introduced and others phased out in order to buttress the model. In light of the threat to business models posed by the difficult operating environment, sustainability concerns were key in the model calibration. We carried out a business model test for each participating company, awarding fundamental improvement of performance as opposed to inflationary enhanced performance. Foreign currency generation was also topical during the period under review, and based on the monetary reforms which were introduced, it was diligent to also adjust accordingly. In our evaluation criteria, we considered both quantitative and qualitative factors premised on the following guidelines: the recognition of consistent and positive financial performance, sustainability of business model, healthy financial position, and superior tangible returns to investors. We maintained a robust scorecard of quantitative metrics which covered the following: earnings performance, size, financial health, and investor returns, which pretty much look at issues of share liquidity, share price growth, and payment of dividends to shareholders. Whilst the quantitative factors assumed a higher weighting in the overall evaluation, we also accounted for qualitative factors based on evidence in the annual reports and other publicly available information. We looked at good corporate governance practices encompassing board independence, board composition, board responsibility, and minority shareholder treatment. We also looked at investor relations encompassing quality of disclosures at analyst briefings, frequency of trading updates, accessibility of directors or management to investor inquiries, accessibility of corporate information through various media, including company websites, and corporate social responsibility and environmental consciousness. This year's awards recognize winners in the following categories: top listed company, which recognizes the top company listed on the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange, excluding banks and insurance company; top banking institution; top long-term insurer; top short-term insurer; best disclosure and investor relations; best tangible returns; best ESG practices, and a special mention award. This year, a new category was introduced in order to align the survey with the growing global interest over environmental, social, and governance factors. Very often, analysts fail to incorporate these factors when valuing a company, thus rendering a valuation incomplete. Accordingly, as a panel, we are set to encourage the adoption of these factors in company assessments. ESG factors cover a wide spectrum of issues that traditionally are not part of a financial analysis, but have financial relevance and financial consequences if not adhered to. In addition, as per tradition, the judges maintained a special mention award that goes to a company that may not necessarily have been a winner in any of the conventional categories, but demonstrates some positives towards creation of shareholder value that is worth flagging out. This year, the award recognizes a company that successfully implemented a recovery strategy and made a remarkable turnaround through financial restructuring and creation of technical partnerships. Overall, we note with concern the stagnated pace at which disclosures and investor relations are being emulated in our capital markets. We are of the view that this has largely contributed to the depressed liquidity on the local bourse. Liquidity is still concentrated on the top 10 counters by market capitalization, whereas there are some sleeping giants which need to roll out their presence through improved disclosures and investor relations, and investors will surely take notice. This stimulating task, ladies and gentlemen, would not have been possible without the tireless work of our dedicated judges. I'll just quickly call out their names, and judges, if you can raise your hands wherever you are so that the audience can acknowledge you. Ivonia Mzondo, Linda Tsarwe, Manasa Tagwirei, Simbarashe Mangwendeza, Welcome Mavingire, Farai Gwaka, Tinashe Yafele, and in absentia, Yvonne Saiti. Thank you. Lastly, the judges convey their warm congratulations to the winning companies in the various award categories. We also urge others to benchmark themselves against the criteria and strive to be winners next year. We remain grateful to the sponsors, Old Mutual, and partner Financial Gazette for their continued support of this initiative. And, as usual, Old Mutual was excluded from participation by virtue of being a sponsor in order to preserve the independence and integrity of the awards. I thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with that, let the games begin. Let's give a big round of applause. It is now time, and I shall ask my wonderful assistants to come on stage and join me as we now get ready to announce the award categories, the nominees, as well as the winners. For the first set of awards, I'm going to kindly ask Mr. Machado if you could please, sir, join us on stage so that we can do this. Katuwaombereo maoko wa Machadu. All right. So we will go straight into it. We will start with the Life Assurer Award.
The award for Best Performing Life Assurance Company recognizes a life assurer who had the best overall score in the areas of capital adequacy, operating performance, liquidity, competitiveness, and size. The model used Spool's data from a 3-year period covering these financial health measures, thus rewarding the company for sturdy performance and growth. And the nominees are Zimnat Life Assurance, CBZ Life, Nyadodzo Life Assurance Company, and Econet Life.
The runner-up is CBZ Life. Let's give them a big round of applause as they come to receive the award. Coming right from the back. No, he's not. Oh, there she is, Mrs. G. Makorokoto, makorokoto. In this category, the winner is EcoShow. Going once. Our next award is the Short-Term Insurer Award.
The Short-Term Insurer Award quantitatively recognizes the best performing short-term insurer in the non-life sector. Quantitative data is qualified on the basis of IPEC returns submitted quarterly by licensed short-term insurers and is assessed over a 3-year weighted period. The winner of this award should have performed well over 5 areas: capital adequacy, operating performance, liquidity, competitiveness, and size. And the nominees are
Somewhere on the screen. Ladies and gentlemen,
FBC Company Limited, Sal Insurance, Zimnat, and CBZ Insurance.
and the runner-up is CBZ Insurance Company. Let's give them a big round of applause. CBZ Insurance Company. And the winner is Zimnat General Insurance. Going once, twice. We'll keep the award and make sure it is given to them. Thank you so much, Mr. Machado. We now move on to the Best Bank Award.
The award is given to the most outstanding bank for the year 2018 and is based on both quantitative and qualitative attributes of each bank reviewed. This bank, by and large, outperformed its peers from a quantitative perspective using core banking financial ratios, whilst a qualitative perspective, the bank was admirable in the areas of governance and corporate social responsibility. And the nominees are EcoBank, Standard Chartered, Stanbic Bank, and Stewart Bank.
And the runner-up is Standard Chartered Bank Zimbabwe. The winner, ladies and gentlemen, in this category is EcoBank. Well, Mr. Machado, sir, thank you so much. We'll kindly invite you to take your seat as we now kindly ask Doc if you could join us. Dr. Kennedy, if you could kindly join us on stage so that you can give the next set of awards. Let's give him a big round of applause as he comes. Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, the next award is for the Best Tangible Investor Returns Award.
The Best Tangible Investor Returns Award recognizes quantitatively the best performing company in terms of annual returns to investors or shareholders over a weighted period of 3 years. Returns from investing on the stock market primarily come from two sources, namely capital appreciation through positive share price movement and dividends. We recognized consistency and incremental growth by evaluating all listed companies' return performance over a 3-year period, sequentially weighting the returns with the latest year carrying the greatest weight. Liquidity and depth in terms of access to the shares, coupled with the ease of entry and exit by an ordinary investor, is a key parameter in determining the winner of the award. To address the tangible investor returns concern, an internal determined minimum threshold of the number of shares that traded within a period relative to the total shares in issue is established. A year-on-year share price movement evaluation is conducted on an adjusted volume-weighted average price over the 3-year period. Thus, the award winner would have delivered tangible, releasable returns to shareholders over a sustained 3-year period. And the nominees are Nampak, First Mutual, and Padenga.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. And the winner in this category is Padenga Holdings. Our next award is the Best Disclosure and Investor Relations Award.
This award acknowledges companies that foster comprehensive disclosures pertaining to financials and operations, as well as reasonable levels of engagement with stakeholders, particularly the investment community. The award rewards companies that are vigilant and make full disclosure of information about their business, satisfy the requirements by regulators, the stock exchange disclosure rules, as well as disclosure information in a timely manner and simplified financial language following the occurrence of facts that require disclosure. And the nominees are Dairy Board Holdings, Delta Corporation, and Seedco.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner is here, represented fully, and the winner is Delta Corporation. The next award, ladies and gentlemen, is for the Environmental, Social, and Governance ESG Award.
The ESG Award recognizes a company that upholds good environmental, social, and governance principles. The company operates on an ecologically friendly business model that promotes the efficient and sustainable use of resources, conducts value-adding social development programs in the community and for employee wellness, promotes ethical governance practices by the board of directors, executive management, employees, and interactions with external stakeholders. And the nominees are Delta Corporation, Padenga, and Seedco.
And the winner is Seedco. Well, let's give them a big round of applause. Dr. Kennedy Mandevani, thank you so much, sir. As he takes his seat, give him another big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the next award was not announced earlier on. It is a special MC's award, my award. It is called, isn't it? And so, what we always want to do when we're hosting events of this caliber is that we invite people to RSVP, and it's hard for many. This season, we had somebody who did it first, and for that reason, I am happy to present this award to Wimbai Nyakujga. So Wimbai, thank you so much. On awards, I hardly get photos. I had one with you. Thank you so much. And so, ladies and gentlemen, now I'm going to warmly invite the ambassadors. Please, can you join us up here so that you can present the next set of awards. Let's give them a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. As is coming, I'm informed that when he was the local and government minister, he's the one who did away with the thatched and mud houses in Rwanda. Come on, guys, let's give a big round of applause. Well done, sir. We now go straight to the Special Mention Award.
The Special Mention Award recognizes a company that has shown exceptional performance despite not winning any of the traditional categories in the top company survey. The winning company was awarded for foreign currency generation, the ability to turn its recovery strategy to one of growth consistency and shareholder rewards despite the tough economic environment. And the nominees are Turno Holdings and African Sun Limited.
And the winner is African Sun Limited. Ambassador Master, I have the photo with you. We'll keep the award, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure that they receive it. So, ladies and gentlemen, the big one. We now go to the big one. And this is indeed the Top Company of the Year award.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. The Top Company of the Year award recognizes the best performing company listed on the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange, excluding listed banks and those in the insurance sector, which are considered separately. The performance is evaluated through a combination of quantitative and qualitative factors, which are then weighted to reward a company that scores positively across all the areas evaluated. The quantitative factors seek to reward positive and consistent financial performance as well as the financial strength of the company, whilst qualitative factors speak to disclosures and investor relations, corporate governance, social responsibility, and sustainability factors. And the nominees are Delta Corporation, Padenga, Simbisa Brands, OK Zimbabwe, and Seedco.
Ladies and gentlemen, for this category, we have 3 winners. We have a second runner-up, a first runner-up, and indeed the winner. Which one do you want to hear first? We'll go straight to the second runner-up. Ladies and gentlemen, please, they were here earlier on. Put your hands together and help me congratulate Seedco Company Limited. Well, let's give them a big round of applause. (2019) Top Company of the Year, first runner-up goes to OK Zimbabwe. Are you ready for the big one? And for the big one, ladies and gentlemen, this is indeed the Top Company of the Year 2019. We're going to recognize them in 2019. I'm going to invite Mr. Machado, please, can you come? He's not the winner. He's just coming to. Our good doctor, please, can you also join us up here? We want to make this a really big celebration. Let's give them a big round of applause as they come up. One more time, we will hear the citation.
The Top Company of the Year award recognizes the best performing company listed on the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange, excluding listed banks, and those in the insurance sector, which are considered separately. The performance is evaluated through a combination of quantitative and qualitative factors, which are then weighted to reward a company that scores positively across all the areas evaluated. The quantitative factors seek to reward positive and consistent financial performance, as well as the financial strength of the company, whilst qualitative factors speak to disclosures and investor relations, corporate governance, social responsibility, and sustainability factors.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner, I will announce when I invite, after you've seen the voice behind that amazing citation. Let's invite Tatenda to come on stage. This has been the amazing voice, ladies and gentlemen, that was making those citations. Tatenda Ziambe. Well done. Now go back where you were. You're not allowed to take photos. Go back to work, Sonny. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? And the winner is Simbisa Brands. And going once, twice, we will keep it. Gentlemen, thank you so much for helping us. Ambassador, we are so grateful. Let's give them a big round of applause as they take their seats. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you. I shook the excellence hand. Oh my gosh. So he says, well done to me. I'm going to Rwanda, guys. It's been an amazing evening. We came to celebrate. Dessert is still waiting for you. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank, indeed, our sponsors. Let's give them a big round of applause. Old Mutual, thank you so much. Many thanks to Financial Gazette. You've done this for a while and you've stood the test of time. We would like to see this continue. As our ambassador has said, let's give Fingas a big round of applause. Let's give them a big round of applause. Once again, there was an amazing team that put this whole event together, and some will remain in the background. Let's just give them a big round of applause and thank you so much for what you've done. The venue has done an exceptional job hosting us. We are super grateful. Thank you so much. Let's give them a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. We would also like to take this opportunity to thank and invite back on stage our entertainment tonight. And this marks the official closure of this event. We would like to invite you, as we said earlier on, this event is indeed about networking. Would like to get to know you. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, let's welcome back on stage, I Am King. Good night, God bless, and see you soon.